Another 3 keys to back pain relief. Hey everybody, this is Mike Erlob with another episode of Power Your Life. So I am so excited to be here with you today. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. It is just so amazing to be able to spend this time with you on the Tuesday, Thursdays, and just sharing this information with you, just sharing things with you that will power your life, that will make you live or help you live a healthier, more fulfilling life. Speaking about that, it is just what an amazing time that we live in today. It really is, because we have so much information at our fingertips that can help us live a healthier and more fulfilling life. You see, because it's not, the quality of your life is so important. And one thing is your health. And if your health, whether it's your physical, your spiritual, your emotional, your health affects your quality of life. This information that you can get, you can hop on the internet and boom, you can get things just like that. But here's the thing, it's just information. And what you do with that information, what you do with those things, that is what matters. So yes, it is an amazing time. Yes, we can get information at the click of a mouse, but you have to take that and you have to take action with it. So today, I want to share with you, last week we shared the 3 keys to finding back pain relief. Well, guess what? I've got another 3 keys. Okay, so actually there was 6, but it was too much for one show, so I had to break it up into 2 shows. But I really want to share this with you, another 3 keys to finding back pain relief. So, to add a little side note, I've spent the last weekend swimming with my kids and wife. We went biking. We got a Frisbee, and it has been years since I had played Frisbee. And we were out in the driveway throwing the Frisbee around, and we were really having a fun time. But it's like when you play Frisbee, or when you go biking, or when you go swimming, you start really doing these activities that your body just is not quite used to doing. And all of a sudden you start to realize, man, I started thinking I'm kind of out of shape, I've always thought I was in pretty good shape, but boy, I could really use some work here, because I'd wake up the next day feeling pretty stiff and sore. That kind of starts making you feel like you're getting a little old before your time. And, on top of that, of the biking and the playing Frisbee and the swimming, is my daughter and I have actually taken up jogging. So, we started actually doing a walk-jog type of program around town. And I've learned one thing from that. And that is, I am no spring chicken anymore. And as a result of doing all these things, taking in some of these activities that my body's not quite used to doing. Now, I had always been doing high intensity interval training down in the basement, and doing a lot of yoga too. But, the specifics of when you change your activity, it just works your body in a different way. And that we can talk about that at another time too. But it's always good to change up your activities, because your body does get used to doing the same things again and again. So if you are exercising or working out, and you're trying to do that to lose weight or stay in shape, change it up. Don't always do the same thing all of the time. You might walk one day, run the next, do the bike, do an elliptical, you might do a high intensity interval training program, but just change it up, because it'll keep your body guessing, and you'll be able to meet your fitness goals a lot faster. But this isn't about the fitness goals. This is about your back. And, as a result of me doing a lot of these activities, my own back has started to act up. And so I've taken my own advice. I've taken those first 3 keys. And I started implementing them. But let's review that. And, we talked about, key number 1 is you've got to stretch your psoas, or your hip flexors. I've started doing that a couple times a day. You've got to strengthen key muscles. And one of those key muscles are your glutes. You've got to strengthen the butt. You got to strengthen your butt muscle. Really, really important. The next is keep your spine in neutral, okay? So when you're lifting, reaching, pushing, or pulling, you've got to keep that spine from excessively bending and keep it stabilized. So what I want to do now is let's talk about the next 3 keys. And so you guys might notice when I say 3, I hold up like that. That's because that's from my wrestling days back in high school as a high school wrestler. For those of you who know wrestling, the referee, they'd be like 3. That means 3 back points because you had somebody down and it was a near fall. Anyway, just a side note. Thought you find it kind of interesting. I know most people might say 3, but I have a tendency to pull up those 3. So going forward, key number 4. Correct your sleep position. Now, I have found this to be very, very important. You see, if you can't sleep, you can't heal. And your body repairs itself during your sleep cycle. And here's a little statistic for you. We will spend up to one third of our lives in bed sleeping. And a lot of stress will develop in the lower back if you are not sleeping in an optimal position. So, first thing you're going to do is start making sure you have the right pillow, okay? Now, depending on your sleeping position, additional pillows can help keep your spine in the proper position. And that's just in a position where your spine is just supported, okay? So, the pillow for your head, it should support the natural curvature of your neck. And it should be comfortable. If you have a pillow that's too high and your head's being, all twisted to the side or pushed up in that direction, that's going to put a lot of strain on your neck, your shoulders, and ultimately your lower back. You should choose a pillow that will keep the neck aligned with your chest and the lower back. So if you're a side sleeper and you can imagine you've got the head and you're just going to draw a line of your spine, it should be fairly straight. You don't want it where your head's like turned upward and then your back drops down. It should be straight. And you can tell when you're in that position because you feel better. So choose a pillow that will keep your neck aligned with your chest and the lower back. Your pillow should be adjustable to allow you different sleep positions. And you should be replacing your pillow every year. Try and keep your ears, shoulders, and hips aligned. If you sleep on your back, a small pillow under your knees will reduce the stress on your spine. And the pillow for your head should support your head and the natural curve of the neck and the shoulders, as I mentioned before. Sleeping on your stomach, for those of you who are stomach sleepers, and I'm one of those, that can actually create stress on your back, okay? Because that increases that curvature, what we call the lordosis. And so it tends, if the bed's too soft, is your stomach will sink down and that'll create an excessive lordotic curve in that lower spine. So if you place a flat pillow under the stomach or the hips, this will help keep your spine in a better alignment. If you sleep on your stomach, okay, a pillow for your head should be really flat, all right? Because you don't want that to lift your head up and that's just not any good. So if you're sleeping on your stomach, a pillow for your head should be flat, or you could even sleep without a pillow. If you're a side sleeper, as we mentioned earlier, a firm pillow between your knees, that will keep your upper leg from pulling your spine out of alignment and will reduce the stress on your hips and your lower back. You should also pull those knees up towards your chest just a little bit, okay? The pillow for your head, again, keeping your spine straight. If you need to, if you have a big curvature under your hips, you could use a small pillow or towel, rolled up towel underneath there to help support the spine. The key is that your spine is in a straight or neutral position, whether you're on your back, your side, or your stomach. And of course, for most of us, we change our positions throughout the night too. So, you just need to have those pillows handy so you can grab them and move them around as you change positions. You should insert pillows into the gaps between your body and the mattress. And when you're turning over in bed, remember not to twist or bend at the waist, but you move your entire body together like a log rolling technique. All right, so key number 5 is correct your body mechanics. So body mechanics, when you are sitting, standing, and lifting, they are critical in keeping your spine healthy. This is very, very important for reducing the stress to your back. So when you're sitting, Okay? Make sure that you're sitting upright. Keep your feet flat on the floor, and your feet should be under your knees, and your hips should be at about a 90-degree angle. Okay? So your back should be supported with a lumbar roll or a small towel roll to go in the small of your back. That helps keep that natural curvature. And you should be sitting on the butt bones, okay? Your butt bones are what we call the ischial tuberosities. This is the bottom of the butt. And that's actually where those the hamstrings insert into. So you should be sitting on those. You should not be sitting on your tailbone. So you shouldn't be, slouched all the way back. And sometimes bucket seats in cars are really bad for this, is that they actually tip the pelvis too far back to where you're actually sitting on your tailbone, which we call the sacrum. That creates too much flexion or bending of the spine and puts too much stress on it. Most of those bucket seats have those natural lumbar rolls on the side. If you push the button, the back of the seat inflates, and that helps take up that curve, which keeping that natural curvature naturally puts that weight onto your butt bones. So when you're standing, make sure to keep your belly button drawn in and your core tight. So you just keep those abdominals tight. See, this is going to help you keep that spine in alignment. Think about standing up tall. Think about like if you had a piece of string attached to the top of your head and it is pulling you, straight up, so it draws you upright. Remember when your mom told you when you were a little kid, hey, stand up straight? Keep your head and shoulders up, keep your shoulders back. Back in my day, they might have you walk with books on the top of your head. You can't spill them. Well, you know what? Mom was onto something there. There's a lot to be said for that. So, like I said, think of a piece of string. It's attached to the top of the head. It's pulling you up, making you taller. Never slouch to drop your head. Stay away from those kinds of positions. Keep yourself up. Now, key number 6, and today this is number 3, but in all of it together, this is key number 6. Eat less sugar, bad carbs, and intake more water, vitamins, and minerals. I'm going to say that again. Eat less sugar and bad carbs, intake more water, vitamins, and minerals, especially in the mineral department, boron and copper, because these are 2 minerals that we're very deficient in our standard American diet. Now, by doing this, you're actually going to help reduce the inflammation levels in the body naturally, which will decrease your pain levels. You see, chronic inflammation in the body will result in early degeneration and arthritis. If you would really like to, if you'd like to have more information on how to alkalize your diet, which is how to make it less acidic, which is what actually decreases the inflammatory markers in the body. I have a new ebook out, and we're going to post the link to it in the comments below. Okay, so we'll do that right at the end of the show here. That's it. We got 6 keys right there. So I just want to recap that. All right, I want to recap the 6 keys to finding back pain relief. Number 1, stretch your psoas, okay? Stretch your hip flexors. Number 2, strengthen your key muscles, the key muscles of the back. And those key muscles are strengthen your glutes, strengthen your lower abdominals, all right? Strengthen your hips, okay? Those are keys. Keep your spine neutral when you're lifting, reaching, pushing, pulling. Correct your sleeping position. Number 5 is correct your body mechanics. Number 6, eat less sugar and bad carbs. And intake more water, vitamins, and minerals. All right? Now, really, I hope you find this to be helpful. And I want you to remember, this is the take home I want you to have. Okay? Knowledge is not power. All right? You guys remember NBC used to run those little ads and it was a knowledge is power? Yes, knowledge is important to have. But the knowledge is not power. It can only be powerful if you take action to implement that knowledge. So what I want you to do, what I'm going to challenge you to do is to take action. Take what you've learned, put it into practice. You don't have to do all of it. Just pick one of them. Just start stretching your psoas. That would be the number 1 thing. You start doing that, and then once you get comfortable with that, then add in the second thing, okay? Then add in the third thing. And then just do what you can. Don't make it overwhelming, and please don't overcomplicate it. So if you would like to know more, and I do have more tips for you, all you have to do is just request my free ebook. And that's the 5 best kept secrets to back pain relief. And you can get this by either messaging me on Facebook, or you can email me directly, and I respond to emails, so just shoot me an email and it's mike@flex-pt.com. So just say, hey, I want your back pain ebook, and I'll make sure I send it to you, okay? So until next time, I want you to stay healthy and keep moving forward.